Recently, I had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Michael Stark, a spine surgeon in the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group. When it comes to spine injuries, Dr. Stark says there can be a misconception.
It's broad. Everyone thinks back would just be pain, but that's not always the case. In the spine is all your nerves, your spinal cord and your nerves that come out into the lumbar spine. Problems that you can see with those aren't just pain necessarily. Those are the more obvious, but you can see numbness. Patients can come in without pain, but they may have weakness in their leg or in their arm, and that may be from a pinched nerve that's higher up in the spine somewhere. So those are usually more alarm type symptoms where I would say you need to get evaluated, but it could also be something simple like a muscle strain or pull where it would end up with back pain or tightness that could result in symptoms prompting care.
That's Dr. Michael Stark with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362 or go online to pbhnphysiciangroup.com.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. Tonight, the Heat take on the Raptors and also try to remember how to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. Will Miami bring the Heat up north, or will the Raptors make them wish they packed a parka? We go live to the Great White North at 7 on ESPN 106.3.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Theoretically speaking, with Theo Dorsey at 2, he'll challenge your sports knowledge and maybe your patience. ESPN 106.3, we warned you.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
It was really just 15 years ago when, in a stampede, in a big-time game of country pride, patriotism, USA-Canada faced off in 2010 at the Vancouver Winter Olympics, and it was a tale of a bit of back and forth. Canada struck first, USA rumbled back, and in an overtime fashion, a golden goal by Sidney Crosby secured the gold for Canada back in 2010. Fast forward 15 years, and at the Four Nations final, when USA and Canada face off, square off once again, not with the gold medal on the line, but with the ultimate bragging rights. Canada struck first, USA rumbled back, a bit more back and forth in this one, but in overtime once again, the best player in hockey at the time, Connor McDavid, who is currently the best player in the world. When Sidney Crosby did it 15 years ago, McDavid did it yesterday. A golden goal, 3-2 final. Canada takes down the United States in the Four Nations final. And one of the great hockey games I think I've had the pleasure of watching. I was able to catch the third period and overtime. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, as always on ESPN 106.3. Mike Rizzo and Christian Cat are back at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. I am on remote in Flagstaff, Arizona, from my brother's apartment, previewing a little bit of eastern Washington, northern Arizona, neither here nor there. But it's fascinating how history repeated itself. The best player in the world at the time knocked off the United States 15 years ago, and the best player in the world knocked off the United States last night in the Four Nations final on ESPN. I mean, we got what we wanted, a great game. Wasn't the turnout, it wasn't the finish that we wanted. But in terms of what the game was, back and forth, energy, overtime, golden goal. I don't think you could ask for much more. And Mike, I was quite pleased with the product I saw yesterday on the ice.
Totally, but we're missing the biggest point here. Our great producer, who I love dearly, Christian Cat, promised us no overtime last night.
Yeah, he had a gut feeling. Goes to show how much stock we have in his gut.
No overtime last night. When I was leaving FAU, I opened up my Hard Rock app. By the way, that bet I took, McKinnon, Matthews, and McDavid to record 3+ shots. Hit.
Nothing else hit.
Now we didn't hit any other bet. But I did manage to sprinkle some money on the side, 10 to win 42. I'll take that to the bank, as ice cold as I've been on the bets. But anytime you get an overtime thriller like that, it's a lot of fun. I was bummed out. I went back. I recorded it on my YouTube TV, Colin. I to be honest, I just watched the goals, and then I watched the whole overtime period. I mean, the Canadian goalie, that guy won the game. Let's not
Bennington.
Yeah, and let's not get it twisted. That guy won the game. Austin Matthews had like 3 or 4 chances to score there, and Bennington was on his head.
Yeah, Jordan Bennington. Bennington went right after the United States because he weathered a storm. USA came right after him in the beginning of that overtime, and he saved the game. Couple glove saves, top left, top right of the net. You got to give him all the credit in the world. And it was a defensive lapse that let McDavid get open. What are you leaving McDavid open in the middle of the ice for? That was a layup for somebody of his caliber.
And even at the end of the third period, I feel like that Bennington was making a lot of saves. And come to find out via the broadcast, he did that in that building for the St. Louis Blues when they faced off against the Bruins. So that was a building he was familiar with from his time with the Blues, and man, did he put on a display. And from what I've realized, the Canadian fans weren't happy with him heading into that game. And he was the big reason that they won that game last night. So it's a lot of fun. I was bummed out USA lost. But in the end of the day, man, you took Canada. You beat Canada earlier in the tournament, and you took them to overtime when they have the best players in the world. I'm very proud of that United States group. I kind of compare this to the World Baseball Classic. I was more upset when the USA lost baseball, maybe because it's our quote-unquote pastime. But as far as the hockey last night against Canada, I was very proud of the boys. They left it all on the ice, and I got no gripes here.
Give them orange peels, too? No, you shouldn't be proud of them.
They came in second out of
4.
But they took Canada to overtime. A loaded Canadian team. I mean, this is David versus, I don't want to say David versus Goliath. We have nice players.
It's not David versus Goliath.
Canada,
they beat them 5 days ago, Mike.
Canada's the better team. Canada's the better team. They're the better
best
team.
Players. USA is deeper. USA's got a better line. USA's better goalie. But they're the best players, yes.
But
McKinnon and McDavid.
It's
and
their
Crosby.
sport. It's their sport, nonetheless. That's
You're
why
an American, Mike.
I know.
Come on. Are you going to give them a hug
I am
and a
an
kiss
American.
too? Geez, they should have done better.
I had a lot of fun watching this team in this tournament. From someone who doesn't watch hockey, they gave me a lot of joy.
On your DVR. Care that much.
Dude, I had to take that up with Brian Rowitz, our content manager and our beloved manager here at ESPN West Palm. Okay, I had a blast at FAU last night, by the way. First time in that stadium. Colin, you wouldn't believe the party that was going on beforehand. I mean, it was like before a Buckeye football game. There were that many students at the party before that game. But I had a lot of fun at FAU, had a lot of fun watching that game when I got back home around 11 o'clock last night. I understand maybe that is loser mentality, but that team gave me a lot of joy and a lot of fun during a very down period of sports right now.
Canada struck first. Canada really came out. I had a feeling they would really play well the first 4 minutes of the game. And I had it on my phone, first row of Northern Arizona, Idaho. So I was back and forth, which was nice because the game started at 8:22 or 8:22 local time in Eastern time, so it was 6:22 for me. And the Northern Arizona Idaho game was already 10 minutes into the game, so it was perfect. So I was able to watch the end of the second period in peace because the end of the game came out, and I was able to watch the last 8 minutes just sitting in the arena. And I was able to watch the end of the first period because there was already halftime of the Northern Arizona Idaho game. So I think I played my cards right in balancing what I am paying attention to. But from what I saw, Canada came right at them. And I give USA credit because after that McKinnon goal, which was an impressive shot, They were able to rally back a little bit, and then it was really just a back and forth. A very dramatic third period. No goals scored. It was a tense environment. And once you knew that it was going to get to OT and you knew that it was going to be golden goal time, you get very nervous because in terms of the second McDavid got on the ice, and he was on the ice, he was flying around. And McDavid is the most dangerous player on the ice. And he just looked like he had something to prove. Let's be completely honest. I mean, he got an open look. It was a lapse defensively. But after the USA kind of gave them their best shot at the opening part of that overtime, Canada did a good job at sort of, I guess, slowing the game down a little bit because USA was almost like with their hair on fire. Yeah, props to Canada. It's disappointing with the USA. It's hard to beat a team twice in 5 days, especially with that much talent that is on Canada. So I give them, I guess, enough of a credit that the game was interesting. That game probably did 15, 17 million. I don't know if the numbers are out yet. But it concludes a really rock star week and a half that the NHL has had, and really was. It's just a ton of fun. It's fascinating, too. It's the exact same thing that happened in 2010. This is the exact same thing. Sidney Crosby was the best player in the world at the time, and he knocked him off in overtime on his end after they struck first earlier in the game. And McDavid does the same thing. It's weird how history works like that, working around in a complete time's a flat circle in that sense.
Yeah, totally. And as far as McDavid, he talked after the game. He said he played lousy. The entire game up until that goal, he said he played lousy. And I thought
he was a non-factor.
And I thought he handled himself with class. For that matter, outside of one of the Canadian players scoring and mocking President Trump, I thought the game really was classy. You didn't really see a lot of that toxic-ish kind of stuff. What's so funny?
Yeah, I turn on sports for class. That's why I turn on. I turn on for clean-shaven face and handshake. That's why I watch sports.
But remember the last time these two teams faced off, we were throwing the gloves within the first 9 seconds.
There was something at stake this time around, I think you said.
Yeah,
I think the team sensed
but I thought after the game they would have taken their victory laps and really had at the USA team. I thought McDavid was all class in that interview, no?
I mean, surely. But I didn't watch last night hoping to get class. That's why I don't watch sports.
You wanted a good game, and that's what you got. So you wanted entertainment. You wanted something exciting.
You guys are bitter today, man.
Bitter. I'm more bitter than Colin, and you're
going to say bitter.
You guys, it's not you guys.
God.
It's me.
You are bitter, Christian.
Say what you want. It's me who. Yeah, I am bitter. Yes, they came in second place out of 4 teams. I'm not proud of the fellas.
God,
no. You amass an all-stars, the greatest who play the sport in this country, in the greatest country in the world, and you couldn't win the hockey game.
Don't do me a favor. Don't watch World Cup soccer then. Don't watch Team USA. All right, dudes, we got a good team. I think we're going to do very well. But if you're expecting to win the whole thing in the World Cup, don't watch.
No, I'll just watch Landon Donovan score against Algeria. That's what I'll do on repeat. Him and John Brooks against Ghana, I think.
Yes, good job. Good job, Seacat.
Fascinating game in the Four Nations face-off. Good for the NHL. They nailed something here. They finished it off with a bang. Thursday night, no competition. You cannot complain with how they handled this. And now it's up to everybody else to take some notes. We've been talking about it all week. But in terms of what I saw from that game, exciting, back and forth. Canada striking first, kind of invoking a little bit of pressure onto the United States. They were able to respond. And then a very back and forth, tight, tense third period followed up by that OT.
Now, Colin, can we go through what happened at Northern Arizona last night? I am very intrigued on what happened on the court out there where you're at with your brother in Northern Arizona.
I
kind of want to hear it. I kind of want to hear it because you told me that Timmy was going to ruin the weekend if he lost a game. And lo and behold, you texted me last night that Northern Arizona lost. So walk me through what happened.
All right, I was at Northern Arizona, and there's they play in a football stadium. There's 26,000 seats in the building.
Wow.
It's a sky dome, and it's a track with also the turf is removed, and then they have the basketball court. It's almost like you're at the Final Four.
Nice.
But I was row 1, seat 5 behind the Northern Arizona bench, and they started out. It was 8-0 Idaho to start. Terrible start. And Northern Arizona's got the best scorer in the conference in the Big Sky, Trent McLaughlin, who averages like 23 a game. But started terribly. It was 45-27 at halftime. And it should have been worse than that. It was about 24 with a couple minutes to go. Edged their way back, 22-point lead early part second half. They are playing with no guts. They were scoring. Idaho was scoring at will. And then eventually they locked into a sense. They started hitting some shots. They went 1 for 14 from 3 before they hit their second 3, and they were 11 for 18 from the free throw line. You can't win like that.
No,
you can't win like that. And then they rumbled back, started flirting with a 10-point lead, 9-point lead. There was one kid right on Idaho who's a redshirt freshman out of Lake City, Utah, and he killed about 7 different runs, had 14 points in the second half. Oh my God, he killed every run. But Northern Arizona, they rumbled back. It was a 5-point game with about a minute to go. And a couple back and forths here and there. Trent McLaughlin is playing absolutely outstanding. It was a 6-point game, Trent McLaughlin hits a step-back 3 to cut it to 3.
Nice.
39 seconds to go, pressing full court. Carson Tout, who's their big man, who's the leading in the country in rebounds, as a 6'8" guy.
Wow.
Guarding the inbounder on the baseline, and Idaho gets it. They're able to secure a trap, loses the guy in Idaho, the ball handler, loses his footing. Northern Arizona gets the ball, Tout does, hands it off to Jaden Jackson, one of their guards, right underneath the hoop. George Mikan, right underneath the hoop. You've been doing the layups your whole life. Right underneath the hoop. And it hits the bottom of the rim. And it might have gotten tipped a little bit, but it hit the bottom of the rim. And they were able to get the ball foul game. 20 seconds left. You can't get back into the game. But that was a chance to carve it to 1 with 30 seconds to go. You play straight up. You have a chance to tie.
You saw a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game.
Mike? You got it?
Yes.
All right, good.
What do you mean he's there on site? His brother coaches the team. I think that's pretty cool. That's why he's remote right now. We got to talk about it.
Hold on.
You don't want to talk about it? It's his older brother.
See, I don't care about talking about it. I just don't want West Palm Beach and Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast to hear about it because they don't give a damn.
His brother is the coach of the team. He is on remote in his brother's apartment. I think it's apropos to bring this up.
Come on.
Are you kidding me?
Weirdly enough, I do agree.
If they cared, they would have watched the game.
Stop.
That's why I'm here to tell them about it because nobody did watch the game, so that's why I'm telling them.
And Colin's brother is the coach. It's pretty cool. He's the first assistant.
No, yeah, he's second assistant. Excuse me.
He's the second assistant. As a 25-year-old.
Oh my God!
And that reminds me. My mom made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich yesterday that will knock your socks off.
You're wrong here.
Oh, Christian,
you're wrong here.
I agree with that, Christian. There's nothing that you could say that's going to enthrall the West Palm crowd more than my experience at Northern Arizona versus Idaho. But and then after that game, I was able to scoot over to a local sports bar and watch the third period in the overtime of the USA-Canada. So I was able to nail two birds, one stone here, watching one game because there was 1,100 people in the building. You could walk out of there, and there's no traffic. It's great.
It's not the WWE. Wait, so Kyle, it's not the WWE?
No, people stayed. People stayed. There was a couple people. I got a T-shirt, the whole thing. But, poorly coached team. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Come on, Colin.
Dude, it's a poorly coached
team.
Dude. It is.
I'm going to
have a ton of talent. I don't think they're anyone listening. They don't have a lot of talent.
Justice for Timmy, man. This is wrong.
Stop. It's not his fault, too. They don't have a ton of talent. They have no size, and they get it. All right, so how about this?
Okay.
Let's construct a college basketball team.
All right, let's do it.
Imagine if you don't have a size, you don't have a true point guard, you have no true shooters outside of your best player, and you have no gritty defenders, and you don't have elite athletes. How are you supposed to win college basketball games at a Division I level when you don't check any of those boxes?
You need that kid to drop 50
The kid had 36 points. He had 24 in the second half.
Needed 50.
He had 24 in the second half.
Needed 50, Colin. He needed 50.
He had 4 threes in 5 possessions to end the game. And they could win.
How'd they get him? Here's a question. How'd they get him to stay in the NIL era? How did he stay? He didn't get poached.
I'm allowed to disclose their NIL situation.
I understand, but
it is not great. So let's just put it that way. And it's a shame. The kid could. I'm telling you, that kid would get minutes in Auburn. That kid would probably not get minutes at Duke, but he would get minutes at Auburn, Iowa State, all those teams he would play on.
It's why I'm asking. How fair play to Timmy and the coaching staff for getting that kid to stick around.
Good player. Good player.
But I'm happy.
That was my experience in Northern Arizona, Idaho. They got Eastern Washington on Saturday, 2:00. So
boys.
The thing is, you're peeling him off the floor because he acts like the world is ending after the game. Tim, relax. He treats it like it's UConn. If the sky is falling, if UConn loses, if Northern Arizona drops a game in conference, the world is not on fire.
He's a competitor. That's why he's a coach.
Mike, there's 16
That's why he's a good coach.
Mike, there's 16 people who flew across the country to go see him.
Even
and
more
the kid
pressure.
shows up to the sports bar. I asked him what the coach said to the guys post-game, and we started talking about the game a little bit, and then he got annoyed, and then he left.
He didn't even say bye? He didn't say bye?
Yeah, and then he left.
Okay. Well, he was
pissed
very
off.
upset.
I understand.
A lot of pressure. There's a lot of
crappy
Colin.
game.
16 people there. There's a lot of pressure for that team to win that night.
Completely agree.
I don't blame
There's a
him.
pressure environment.
I don't blame Timmy.
The world's not ending. The
Okay.
world's not ending.
And listen, God forbid we have a little fun on this show. I know we're take nonstop. God forbid Colin and I have a little fun
Christian's
about
wrong
it.
here. I completely agree with you, Mike.
I mean, we're having a little fun here. Timmy's a great guy. Colin, I wish I was there. It sounded like a great game, honest to God.
Dude.
It sounded like a great game.
Hold on. 45-27 at halftime.
But they stormed back. You had a thriller.
Your bags. You've been packing your bags.
The fans, I would have had a bucket of corn in that second half enjoying the comeback.
Oh, God, they got some issues. USA, Canada, 3-2 in overtime. A golden goal by Connor McDavid seals it. 888-760-3776. I mean, worst USA loss in quite some time.
Come on. You guys are doomsday. You guys are doomsdaying me.
Let's call it like we see it.
You guys are doomsdaying me.
This is a rough USA loss. Let's call it like we see it. I'm not saying they blew the game. They should have won the game, but they had opportunities there at the open part of OT, and you lose in your building. It's a bragging rights game. We established the stakes coming into the game yesterday.
We did, but it's nothing to hang your hat on. That goalie stood on his head. I mean, he was locked in beyond locked. He was in the zone, as the kids say. There's no other way to put it. I mean, any other goalie, that game's over 2 minutes into overtime. And fair play to Canada and that goalie. Give them their flowers. I know it stinks.
Jordan Binnington was the MVP of the game. It wasn't McDavid. It wasn't McKinnon. It was Jordan Binnington.
I know it
stinks. And he gave up 2 goals there, but he saved them in that overtime. They had every opportunity to score.
He totally did. And I know it stinks. We're all competitors. I was angry when I saw the score. But then when I understood what actually happened in the game, it's like, wow, what a hockey game. What a match. This is Canada. This is the top team. I understand, boys, we got a great roster, and we're nothing to snuff at either. But this is the 2 of the best players in the world around the team. They're deeper than John Wooden's UCLA Bruins. I mean, come on. It's nothing to hang your hat on. Kids, it's nothing to hang your hat on.
Worst USA loss since Vietnam. 888-760-3776. The number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. Worst U.S. How do you feel about the game? Your reaction? Are you on our side where this is a bad USA loss? This is a bit of a shot at the ego of the United States and company. Let us know. 888-760-3776. Or is this on Mike's side an excellent game that we have to tip your caps? You saw an excellent game in a cool event in the middle of the NHL season, and you got to think about the positives more so than the negatives. 888-760-3776. We take a timeout. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP. 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
This is ESPN 106.3, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 1063, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
Good people. It's Theo Dorsey. Spring training has arrived at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, and there's still time to maximize your Miami Marlins and St. Louis Cardinals game day experiences by purchasing a mini plan. 4 game packages start at just $100. Pick and choose your games while you still can. Don't wait. Spring training will fly by. Stop by the ticket office or visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com. See you at the ballpark.
Introducing the bold, the powerful, the all-new 2025 Range Rover Sport P360 SE. A luxury SUV that commands attention with its refined design, dynamic performance, and cutting-edge technology. Lease the 2025 Range Rover Sport for just $12.99 per month for 36 months. Drive in style, power, and comfort, all for just $12.99 a month. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take the new Range Rover Sport for a spin. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Ernie studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
Been a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, had an accident of any kind. My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine over at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, they're here to fight for you. They don't charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Listen up. They're the best in the business for a reason. Why settle for just any attorney? Demand Anajar and Levine today, because that's the Anajar and Levine difference. All it takes, one phone call to take back control of your life today. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Call for your free consultation today. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat with you as always on Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063. Also streaming live on YouTube at ESPN West Palm and X/Facebook at ESPN West Palm as well if you want to see our pretty faces. Mike and Christian back in West Palm. Colin Russo in Flagstaff, Arizona at 7,300 feet of elevation. And we got the hockey, which took place yesterday in the Four Nations. Now that is concluded and Canada has taken it over the United States, and one thing that's fascinating is all the injuries that guys have suffered, and I think it's just a testament to how hockey players are. And let's think about any other sport. There's no way. I mean, baseball fluke injuries happen, but in terms of playing through injuries, making sure you're staying on the ice, and even putting yourself at risk for when All-Star break returns and you're back with your club and you're back with your team. The fact that they are going out there and playing through injury, getting hurt, getting nicked around, that is something that is completely foreign, I think, in every other sport in American culture. And I think that is a testament to the hockey players' persona. I know it's a big argument right now with the NHL versus the NBA and how the players view it, but it's almost two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yep.
One side doesn't get overly paid. They're not the richest people in the world. They're well off, of course, but they're not richer than God, and they love the game. And then the basketball guys, there's questions about whether they love the game, but they're the best at their craft, but they're paid a plethora amount of money. I think it's really a testament to how tough and how admirable, to be honest with you, the hockey players are for playing through
right.
Stuff like
And I heard PK Subban talk specifically about that today, Colin. Former.
Oh, he's been making his rounds. Yeah. He was waiting for this.
Yeah, he really has been.
Waiting for this.
He really has been, but I'll tell you what, does he have a point? And everything he's saying,
totally.
Yeah,
I think he does.
The hockey player is a different kind of player, and I at least in American sports, is Colin. Everything you said, soccer players do as well. I know it doesn't play as much here as all the other sports, but certainly here in the States, I totally agree with you. NHL players are down to put on for their flag whenever they want. Now, I have some sound from the 5 at 5 of Stephen A. Smith specifically talking about how he thinks a tournament like this will make Team USA show up because of how much harder the other players around the world for their countries will be trying.
Canada, because
Christian Cat actually, Colin, has the sound right now for us of Stephen A. talking specifically about how he thinks Team USA will be able to start trying a little harder because he knows the European nations are going to be going at it. And Colin, he also says something interesting about the dunk contest, something you've been on for a while now.
You see the level of patriotism and the level of participation the players give you because they feel compelled from the citizens. And that in itself would have had them coming for Team USA, and then naturally Team USA is going to show up and respond because they don't want to get punked. So as a result, that's why it would be a better matchup. And I've mentioned it to Adam Silver before, but nevertheless, I'll mention it again. There's two things that I'm going to continue to mention until the cows come home. International versus USA, All-Star Weekend, and damn it, let me get a bunch of sponsors for a nationwide slam dunk contest to get some real elite slam dunkers out there who care about it so we can have a slam dunk contest back in action.
So, before that, Colin, I cut out some of the meat and potatoes as it was a really long-winded clip. Stephen A. said before that there are a lot of nations out there that get on their players when they don't show up. They're expected to show up. There's a different expectations with European nations and countries around the world. And I totally agree with them being a world soccer fan. But at the same time, I do agree with Stephen A. about how I think this will make Team USA try because they don't want to get embarrassed. I think that's the biggest thing.
Adopt it, isn't it?
Yeah. No, totally. 100% I'm speaking theoretically here. But I totally think. I mean, you see it in the Olympics. Colin, don't we see it in the Olympics? I know a medal is on the line, partner. I know maybe more at stake.
It's a little different than midseason. The one thing I'll say in combat to that is, I can't speak to whether this would happen or not, but the way I look at it is, I weirdly enough, I think the hockey player can resonate with, he mentioned the citizens of the United States, the people of the United States, the ones that, this is what they have. This is the fun. This is the unification of sports, and especially countrywide, domestically. This is, arm in arm. The basketball players are almost on their own cloud. They're almost in their own little world.
They are.
The hockey player, I don't think necessarily sits in that same throne. Maybe it's because of the amount of money that they're not paid or the amount of power that either they have or they don't have. I think they're maybe relate a little bit more, and they embody the representation aspect of playing for Team USA. Now, I'm not saying the basketball players don't do that. I'm saying there's a question on whether they would do that if it's something with all-star break. Olympics is one thing because the Olympics is timeless, and that's what it is. But if you're going to fabricate a tournament and try to put together stakes and manufacture stakes, not similarly to the Olympics, but like the four nations, the part of me fights back thinking that the basketball player does not necessarily have that pride of representation of the people that you totally did. You saw in the four nations throughout that tournament.
And you hit the nail on the head with the relatability thing. NFL players, NHL players, baseball players. I feel like all of them are more relatable than the NBA player. And I don't know if it's getting told how great they are throughout the AAU circuit when they're growing up. I think maybe that has
the baseball player and the hockey player, definitely there's something to that.
Yeah, and I listen, this isn't me. I played AAU basketball. This isn't me pooping all over AAU basketball. But like these young players are getting told how great they are from the moment they step into the circuit. I wonder if it has a little bit to do with it. I wonder if it has a little bit to do with just game. It's just they think they're bigger than the average person. And I stand by what I said. NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL, NHL, all three of those players and that specific player, a lot more relatable than the current basketball player right now.
Well, you got to think about it. There's something to be said about the style of play. It's me all throughout up until you get to college. Half of them don't even play in college or even care about being a great player in college. So there's that. That's more the team style. But then you get to the NBA where it turns into me all over again. Baseball. Now, a great player does not propel them into World Series contention. It is a team style environment. I'm not saying it's the same with basketball, but basketball, great players can carry you. And then with hockey, it's the same thing. McDavid's great, but McDavid needs a good team around him. And you saw that for the first half of his career. It really wasn't enabled till the team started getting propped up a little bit that you were able to really see and exude his talents because you're only on the ice for a couple minutes at a time in each line, in each shift. Mm-hmm. So it's a different type of team environment where growing up, getting up to the pros and continuing to play at a professional level, it's a little bit less individualized. And individualized, it's hard to all of a sudden kind of buy into the program and look to embody something that's bigger than yourself. Maybe we are just raining on the parade of the basketball players, but maybe because they're so powerful and they're so, I guess, they're on their own clouds. They're on their own. They're on their own throne room.
You could
off of that, it just tells you that, at least from my perspective, I don't know how well the common folk, the citizens, relate to their type of stature.
And you could blame the commissioner. You could blame Adam
It's
Silver.
just the money. They make so much money. I think football players make a ton of money.
Sure.
There's some baseball players that are completely disconnected from society. Maybe it's because the hockey player makes a great living, but not like a break-the-bank generational wealth living. It's so much different in terms of how the leagues are constructed. So I think there's two sides to it. But, I mean, the basketball players, they're celebrities. They're A-list celebrities.
I just don't remember a stern NBA being something like this. And I am maybe...
We don't need to rein... This is not turning
maybe
into
I am.
NBA. I'm just talking about the embodiment of representation in terms of whether they wear that flag.
Well, here's the thing. If they do this next year, if Adam Silver is smart enough to adopt what everyone wants him to adopt, and the players don't show up for it, then it's an even worse look.
Yeah.
Then it's like what?
Hockey also has the 4 countries. The NBA doesn't necessarily have that. The NBA does not have separate countries. Yeah, you're not going to get the French team in there. You might be able to get a Canadian team in there and fill with NBA players, but you're not going to get French guys who are in the middle of their professional season over in the EuroLeagues. You're not going to be able to get them to go over the pond and start playing in an NBA-ran event for a week as a round-robin tournament.
Sure. I completely understand it. And until they get something solidified with FIBA and whatever the World Basketball Association
or they
was.
just do the international first, the U.S. versus the international. One game, or maybe a best of 3, or something along the lines of that, and then you call it quits after that, and you play the same teams 3 times. Maybe you do that, but you're not going to get that round-robin style because there's not a Sweden, there's not a Finland, there's not a Canada.
Do you think the NBA players care, Colin, right now about the current situation of the All-Star game and the game?
I think they like talking about it, but I think they make too much money where it's almost it's white noise. And they make too much money.
And listen, those arenas are still filled. Okay, people are still going to the games. Tickets are still selling.
It's a corporate thing now. It's not necessarily the fans are priced out of a lot of these arenas. You can't go to a Knick game if you're a true Knick fan. It's all corporate people. It's a celebrity event. It's like the Super Bowl. It depends, of course. You go to a T-Wolves game, you're going to get some T-Wolves fans. But, I mean, those basketball events have turned into a lot of a corporate business side event. And it's less about the actual fan being in the building because tickets are expensive. It's hard to go to a game. The whole thing. I saw a little bit of what Joel Embiid was pulling off yesterday, and it just makes you think, like, oh, my God, these guys are brutal. So, I mean, maybe it's the amount of money they make. I don't know if they'd buy into something like this, but the NBA is going to have to adjust. They got pounded this week in terms of ratings, buzz, generated attention.
Right.
That is going to be a big – we've been talking about it all week, a big staple of what the NBA is going to now have to take steps forward in. It's now generating an interest in something international and invigorating pride of country. And whether that's going to work or not, I guess remains to be seen.
Totally. And if they don't show up, Kyle, if we're having all these conversations right now, they make these changes. We've talked to Giannis Antetokounmpo. He said he'd be all for it. We've talked to numerous NBA players saying that they'd be for this format. If we show up this time next year and they don't...
Is there a sense of being worried about if the USA loses?
Oh, absolutely. I think we do lose. How do we win? LeBron and Steph take over, control it like they did with the Olympics? Let's not forget these guys are going to be another year older, too. The Warriors, I understand Draymond Green, who is going to make a great broadcaster and is a good dude, but what the hell is he doing saying that they're going to win the championship this year? They're not even going to make the playoffs, let alone make the championship. So I just feel like with all of our quote-unquote horses and LeBron and Steph getting a year older and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being, right in the prime of his career, Nikola Jokic in the prime of his career, Giannis, an absolute unicorn. Colin, explain to me how we win that game. I'm with you. Explain to me how.
Well, that's why I wonder if it's embarrassing for the USA.
Do they even do it?
It's detrimental if they go in and get killed.
Like Anthony Edwards. Everyone loves turning Anthony Edwards into this player that he's not. He's a great young player with a lot of.
On the other side of things, international play. These guys are not representing their country; they're representing international.
Sure.
Sure. Giannis is not representing Greece,
but
he's representing international.
It's a chance to. Don't you think they get
up? Stick it to the USA.
Yeah. Right? Isn't that
that much animosity?
Is there?
Do they care?
I mean, they live here.
The USA guys might care. Will the international guys care about representing quote international? Will they care about that?
I think they. Well, if I could take Giannis for face value, yes.
Because
yes.
They're representing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is representing Canada. He's playing with the Canadian team that he plays with every summer. The Wembanyamas of the world represents France.
Maybe put the
French team every summer.
Put the Maple Leaf badge or whatever badge for their country on the thing.
The badge doesn't matter. It's not
it
who
does.
you play with.
Kyle, it's
He's
a soccer
playing with a guy
term.
from Greece,
Hang on here.
Slovenia, and Serbia.
It's a football term. Kyle, you play for the badge, mate. You got to play for the badge. I respect that guy. He plays for the badge.
So we got the Canadian playing with the Slovenian.
Playing for the badge.
Slovenian who's lobbing it up to the guy from Estonia. And then you got the guy in Greece starting on the back door.
Yeah. Coming together for a common cause to beat the USA, right? And then us, on the other hand, you can't lose. You wear according to Christian, you got to win every single event that you're in. You're in the red, white, and blue, brother.
Yes, if you're American, you should.
You can't lose. You're not allowed to lose.
It would be in the United States, so there's pressure there. I agree with you on the pressure. It's not hard to invigorate the United States. I don't think that's a problem. There's a sense of ego and pride to that. But I'm just curious, will that translate to the international side?
When the mighty LeBron and Steph decide to hang it up, Colin, honest to God, Anthony Edwards, that's the best that's the best we have, Anthony Edwards. We in trouble?
He's a good player. I mean, he's a good player. Tatum's a good player. Like, there's good players.
But he disappears when the pressure's high. This is a pressure situation, no?
I mean, he disappeared. He didn't get to play in the United States in the Olympics. I mean, it disappears.
Played in the finals.
Curtin put him in.
God, we played in the finals.
Dude, Curtin put him in.
I know.
That's not fair.
I know.
Curtin put him in the game.
Yeah, he barely made the team.
Said we have too many wings. All right. What do you want him to do?
Jaylen Brown didn't even make the team, partner. So
I think that's more of a politics question on that end.
Maybe.
It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063. We take a time out here. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 1063.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
In office, West Palm Beach.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
DQ Grill and Chill, always your first love for delicious treats. Enjoy the blizzard of the month, Red Velvet Cake Blizzard. Indulge in real red velvet cake pieces and cream cheese icing, blended with DQ Signature Soft Serve. Plus, the $7 meal deal remains in full effect. Your choice of a DQ cheeseburger or a 3-piece chicken strip basket served with fries, a drink, and a sundae for just $7. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at kaisergolfcenter.com.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
South Florida's one and only PGA Tour event returns to the Champion Course at PGA National, February 26th through March 2nd. The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches will deliver a best-in-class on-site experience featuring a variety of fan amenities alongside the premier competition. Kids 15 and under are admitted free with a ticketed adult. This can't-miss event is right around the corner. Buy your tickets now at thecognizantclassic.com.
only human, y'all. I'm only human, y'all. I'm only human, y'all. I'm only human, y'all.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Baseball season's here. The spring training is upon us, and just tomorrow you could go start to see baseball at Cacti Park of the Palm Beaches. Grab your family, grab your friends. I mean, it's baseball season. It's March. It's beautiful outside in Palm Beach County. There's no better time to go and enjoy a ball game because it's easy, it's fun, it's engaging, it's intimate. You're right there with the players. Cacti Park of the Palm Beaches is the place to be. Go there today and you can watch the Astros and the Nationals take on teams like the Yankees, the Mets, the Braves coming into town, the Blue Jays, all these teams coming into Cacti Park. You catch the excitement from February 22nd tomorrow through March 23rd. Tickets are on sale now over at cactipark.com. That's cactipark.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action. Secure your seat today because Cacti Park is going to be the place to be in terms of when it's a 75 and sunny day on a Saturday and there's a day game between the Astros and the Yankees. That's a no-brainer in my book. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cap as well. Speaking of baseball, a couple things here. First, did you see that the Yankees have finally balked at the idea of making guys keep out the beards?
No.
And
now
all of a sudden,
Kyle,
Mike, no, hold on. Mike's annoyed by this.
I am. Kyle, I have sound. If you want to hear owner Hank Steinbrenner,
Hal Steinbrenner,
talk about it. I have it on the 5 at 5 too, so we'll talk about it later on as well. But I do have him talking on why
Let's hear it.
why
Hal
he
Stein, here's we'll pull it up here. Let's take a listen to the Yankee owner, who was this. George Steinbrenner was the great owner who was basically the embodiment of that rule, and Hal Steinbrenner apparently talked to a bunch of players. Let's take a listen to the New York Yankees owner Hal Steinbrenner on the Yankees rule of growing facial hair.
I did make the decision that the policy that was in place was outdated. And given how important it is to that generation, and given that it is the norm in this world today, that it was somewhat unreasonable. So I made the change, talked to the players this morning at the team meeting. I think they understand what my thought process was as well. There will be parameters to this, and they know that, just as we have parameters to our other policies and guidelines.
He got pressured, man. There's no Colin, he got pressured to do it.
Pressured by who? He owns the Yankees.
It's all right.
Pressured by who?
There's a lot of public pressure to get rid of this rule.
He did not get pressured by the Yankees. They've been hearing this for years.
You and Christian
I think part of
him,
him was thinking that maybe Juan. He mentioned free agents in his actual written public statement. Mentioned free agents in the sense of it's not. Free agents are going to take this into consideration if and when they want to come to the Yankees. So I think he's taking that part into the consideration, whether that's Juan Soto and company and whether he wants to make him and not grow out. It was a money thing with him, but still, with the beards and the facial hair. See, Mike's pissed off here because Mike wanted the no beards, Hal Steinbrenner himself said outdated, which is what we said a couple weeks ago, but now you're annoyed.
The Yankee Clipper did not have a beard. Okay. The great Bambino did not have a beard. I know I already made this case before, so I'm not going to stay here and talk about it for a long time. All right. But when you put on that hat, there are expectations. As much as sports hate that team to death, it's the Yankees. There's different expectations when you put on that N and the Y. I really like the rule. It was old school, and I really liked it. I'm in the minority, clearly. Probably 10% of the country probably agrees with me.
The only reason you like it is because you dislike facial hair.
That is true, but
that's the only reason.
But I thought it was a cool rule. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool.
Every player who abided by it disliked it.
I thought it was cool to see people and good players get traded to the Yankees and cut their beard. I thought it was a sense of it was.
Why does that give you satisfaction? I don't understand.
Because it's like a rite of passage to be a Yankee. There are certain ways there is to be a Yankee, and I'm not even a Yankee fan. You know I can't stand that team. I thought it was a cool thing that they did. It was just
Cool.
You know what this is?
I don't understand. I know
exactly.
Like facial. Go ahead, Chris.
This is exactly what this is. Mike Rizzo is the guy that's 5'2" in this story. Mike Rizzo is 5'2". Yeah, he is 5'2", And
6'2" in real life.
And his brother was 6'4". And he goes his entire life, his brother's 6'4", kind of makes fun of him for his height. And then one day, Mike's brother hurts his knee and is put in a wheelchair for a little bit. So when Mike's brother, who usually is very tall and usually making fun of Mike Rizzo for being very short, is in the wheelchair and has to ask 5'2" Mike Rizzo, hey, can you get that box of cereal from the top cabinet? I can't quite reach it. That gives Mike Rizzo pleasure because he would see guys that can grow beards have to shave their beards because it's out of their control. Because growing a beard, a good beard, is out of Mike Rizzo's control.
No,
being 6'7" in this story is out of Mike Rizzo's control.
He is onto something.
I can grow a beard. I just don't.
No, you cannot. No, you.
Yes,
cannot.
Dude,
Not a good one.
I literally have 5 o'clock shadow right now.
Not a good one. Not a good one. So Mike can't put together a good facial hair.
You know, that's something I'm not too upset about.
And because he can't do that, and he sees all these the luscious beards throughout the MLB, he is happy that there is one team in the MLB that places a forbidden policy.
No, it's more or less how I grew up. The expectations for how I grew, you got to shave, and in that
expectation, dude, you're not in the military.
And Hal,
your last name's Rizzo.
And Hal Steinbrenner's interview, I cut off the portion because it was 2 minutes long. He nonetheless said, I can't relate. I've never had a beard in my life. I shave every day. Listen, change with the times. I understand that. I'm sad to see this go away. I thought it was a really cool rule. For the record, I can grow a beard, but I choose not to because Here's the thing. How do you go? It's so damn itchy. Like in
let's
college,
ban dunking because I can't dunk. Let's ban dunking.
No, in college, I attempted to grow a beard, and it was really good. It was really good. And then I looked at my buddies. I said, dude, I can't do this anymore. It's so itchy. Dude, it's so uncomfortable to have facial hair. It is so uncomfortable to have facial hair.
I've never seen Christian without a beard. And so he's right there with us, and it seems fine to him. He's not itching his face every 5 seconds.
The only time it's been itchy is when I played football with a chin strap, and that makes sense. It was itchy then.
Maybe it's my skin. I don't know. Every time I tried to grow a beard, it was agitated.
What I will say, if you are a Yankees fan or a baseball fan who is saying, yes, at last, finally, you have one person to thank, and it's not Hal Steinbrenner, because Hal Steinbrenner was the reason that this still existed until this day. The person you have to thank is Aaron Judge, because this does not happen without the approval of the captain. The reason why it was through the entirety of Derek Jeter's captainship was because he liked it. He didn't mind it. He liked having the Yankees doing it that way. Since Aaron Judge in the offseason does grow a beard, he said, you know what, I think it's time for a change. I'm okay with it. And now we'll see beards in pinstripes.
It's like you mentioned rite of passage. Rite of passage applies when you win more championships than what the Yankees have put together in the last 20 years. So it's ever since 2000 to 2001 era. Since then, the Yankees have done a whole lot of nothing outside of 2009 and a couple flirtations with the championship series in the AL. Other than that, I don't think that they could sit there from that hill and declare that guys who come in have to shave their beards. It's just stupid. It's just plain and simple stupid. If you don't want to grow a beard, guess what? You don't have to. If you want to shave every day, guess what? Shave every day. But it shouldn't necessarily be a protocol and a necessity for playing professional baseball. That is just one does not lead to the other.
What about a mustache? The Yankees allowed a mustache.
Yeah, a little bit different. Tasteful above the lip if you kept it well groomed. That was okay.
Catfish Hunter had a mustache.
Yeah, Jason Giambi for Giambi.
Yeah, so it's fine then. So why wasn't it a problem then, Mike?
Because a mustache is different than a full-grown, disgusting beard.
Okay. So
a mustache is a mustache. Now
your bias is showing.
A mustache isn't like he's ungroomed. You know what I mean? He doesn't look groomed. Like we talking a Jason Worth beard here. Like that thing was a rat's nest. He had braids in it for God's sake.
Parameters. You could keep it trimmed, but it's stupid. That's plain and simple. It's stupid. It's outdated.
He folded.
You didn't need it.
He folded under pressure. It's all right. It's okay.
Whose pressure, Mike? Whose pressure is he listening to?
Apparently the captain of the team, according to CCAT.
No.
He cleared it with him.
Apparently the captain of the team.
And I don't
he
know
talked to former players, and former players were like, Hal, this is stupid. Hal, it's stupid. It's a little outdated. We don't need to do this anymore. That's what happened. He's taking their input into consideration.
Kyle, you don't have a beard. I'm surprised you're on this spectrum.
Because it's stupid. It doesn't matter if I like a beard or not. It's just
you're clean shaven.
Teams.
There's something about that.
Teams should not have the right to tell other players whether to grow facial hair or not. They shouldn't. It's stupid. That doesn't matter what I think. That's how you're basing your opinion. It's not how I'm basing my opinion. I'm saying it doesn't matter. Well, play baseball, win baseball games, and you can stay on the team.
You got to be well groomed, Kyle.
According to nobody now, as the Yankees change their rule and changing their facial hair policy, Hal Steinbrenner announced today the Yankees, who was basically the last of the bunch in all of professional sports, to keep this parameter in terms of facial hair and, I guess, standards in terms of being groomed or not on the facial hair department.
Is there another organization or program that has ever had a policy like this that
dress
I'm not aware
codes,
of?
the NBA had dress codes for years. So if you want to talk about dress codes, some teams still do have dress codes. So that is still very prevalent. But in terms of how guys like haircuts and everything like that, I don't think there's one coming to mind. But, in terms of stuff like that.
Maybe something that they don't make a big stink out. Because you saw, I think it might have been Sean Moreno, maybe not. Someone that had long dreadlocks or long hair, they would get tackled by it. And it would be a problem. Like, they would actually allow defenders to chase them down. Yeah. I bet it's not publicized, but that's probably said maybe it's not the best idea, or at least tuck it in your helmet so it's not a competitive disadvantage.
That gets into the way of the game. So there's something to that. There's not something to facial hair in a baseball game.
Ricky Williams would get pulled down by his dreadlocks a lot when he had them. So, and there were numerous other players who that would happen in the NFL.
That has actually happened on the field. That is problematic in the field of play. It doesn't make a difference in baseball.
Boys, I guess I'm old school. I don't know. I guess it was the way I was raised, and apparently I need to adapt with the times.
There's no right or wrong answer to facial hair.
I need to adapt with the times.
There you go. Need to adapt with the times. Did you see the ESPN is dumping Major League Baseball?
Yeah, unbelievable. 25 years, huh? 25 years?
So the what happened was the ESPN went to baseball and said $550 million a year is a little steep for carrying some of your games, a handful of playoff games, and Sunday Night Baseball, of course. Can we move on from that? And the MLB said no, and then all of a sudden the MLB dropped, whether it was Manfred and company who decided to do that on the commissioner's side or ESPN in deciding to do that. Manfred said that it was because ESPN does not talk enough baseball. Brian, are you listening? And so there's something to that.
Listen, we can't talk baseball here.
Hold on. So the TV has a problem with how they didn't talk baseball, and then so that's why the MLB pulled out. And then this is a big shot to baseball in terms of broadcasting. That has been a staple since 1990. And now all of a sudden, baseball is going to be looking for a new streaming home. And whether it's a good move or not I think everybody should agree that it's almost a shame. Whether you like baseball or not, a major sport should always be on ESPN. ESPN is dumping it. It's one of the four major sports in professional in the United States.
Kyle, just let me know when you want to talk about the Diamondbacks getting Corbin Burns and how that's going to affect their pitching staff.
2 months ago. It happened 2 months ago.
I'm ready. Well, we haven't talked about it yet. I'm ready.
Hold on. It happened 2 months ago.
I'm ready.
But my point, isn't that bizarre?
Yeah, very much so.
Because now this is a big shot to ESPN. This is a big shot. And I big shot to baseball, really, because ESPN can survive without this. They have the football. If you have the football, you'll be all right. But now I wonder where baseball's home's going to be. I don't know whether that's going to be if Turner Sports is going to pick them up in TNT or Fox already has the World Series and everything, so they're not going to expand.
And Colin, let's call it for what it is, too. There's a big difference between the Dodgers broadcast and the Cleveland Guardian broadcast. The dollars that get brought in, the Guards get no money for their broadcasting rights. The Dodgers get a plethora of money for their broadcasting rights. So I think a lot of it depends on the team, too.
That's localized. This is about Sunday Night Baseball and covering baseball at that level.
But you get what I'm saying as well. Like this isn't just a full-on this is bad for the league thing. The local money is still going to be going into the teams that are good and people want to spend money on. The teams that I think this is going to affect even more are the Guardians, are the Tigers, who no one really wants to pick up for that huge contract. Yes,
it's less
absolutely,
money going towards the league.
Absolutely.
And, like to your point, the Dodgers are almost a self-sustaining machine.
Yankees, Yes Network partner.
Off of brand alone. But the Yes doesn't make nearly enough money for $550 million a year. This is going to take a shot. I think everybody's going to feel this. But, now it's time for them to find a new home. And it's almost a shame. Part of me feels bad because, listen, Sunday Night Baseball was staple programming. And baseball, ESPN, we are ESPN. That's baseball. Baseball, ESPN is embodied by covering basketball, football, all sports, and baseball too.
So do you think if we talk about Mookie Betts playing shortstop next segment, we can help the cause?
It's relevance. It's relevance.
Well, it is relevant, Mookie playing shortstop.
Not tomorrow. Not today, Mike. Come on. There's both sides here. We got to play. I understand. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We'll do a little 5 at 5 on the flip side of things. Taking a timeout. We'll be back after this.
Welcome to Recycle Right Trivia, sponsored by the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. Question 1. What belongs in the yellow recycling bin?
Newspapers, cereal boxes, magazines?
Correct! Now, blue bin. What goes in there?
Plastic bottles, aluminum cans, glass jars?
You nailed it! Remember, Palm Beach County, recycle right and stay in the game for our planet.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-7473. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
Banyan Printing, your trusted printing, mailing, and signage partner in the Palm Beaches for over 45 years. Banyan Printing's new metallic ink press adds that extra shine so that your product comes out in glossy gold, sparkling silver, or any other color you want to shine. Banyan Printing is the official printer of Kaiser Athletics and would love to be your official printing partner as well. Order products and learn more about what Banyan Printing can do for your business at banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Lionel Messi and Inter Miami set yet another record. This time, it was at Raymond James Stadium. It was the attendance record for a soccer match at the venue. 42,000 people went to Tampa to see Messi face off against Orlando City in the final preseason clash for Inter Miami. Inter Miami has a Gold Cup game coming up on February the 18th against Sporting Kansas City. And then they open up their MLS play February 22nd at Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management Program.
Hi, this is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. I heard a rumor Bill Belichick once threw a football so far, it looped around the earth and came back to him. Look, I know he's probably busy turning North Carolina into a dynasty, but Bill, if you're hanging around the house in Jupiter sometimes, just give me a call. We'll talk football and maybe even the meaning of life.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today. Don't miss out on this incredible course. And please, putt responsibly.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that wants to learn more about careers with Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
All into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
MLB and ESPN, quote-unquote, mutually agreed to part ways. ESPN jumping away from the MLB. They thought the $550 million per year in the media rights deal was too steep. Tried to get them to go lower. MLB didn't budge. ESPN walks. MLB was also not happy with the MLB's coverage, or ESPN's coverage of the MLB. So both sides, in their own right, deciding to walk for their own reasons. If the ESPN thinks that the $550 million per year for baseball is too steep, I wonder what they think now about paying $2.6 billion per year to stream the NBA. I wonder how they feel about that.
Right.
Talk about getting a bang for your buck. You're paying 5 times the amount. Are you getting even a sliver that much better ratings? Really? I don't know. I'm not saying it's a right move or a bad move. ESPN seems to be cutting some costs here, but it's a shame for baseball here. They're going to have to find a new home for some more regular season coverage and a couple playoff games here and there and the whole thing. So $550 million a year, too steep for ESPN, but the $2.6 billion, football's its own enemy. Football's its own entity. But NBA, $2.6 billion, you think that's worth it?
No.
Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, second hour here, 21st, a Friday edition in February. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, as always on ESPN 106.3. If you missed any of the show today, want to listen back, go to Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, look up Russo and Rizzo. You can listen to whole shows, podcast format, no commercials there, or you can see us streaming live on YouTube at ESPN West Palm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter/X, the whole 9 yards. Christian Cat is our producer back behind the glass at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Christian, hello. What's up?
Fantastic. It's a Friday. I've got plans this weekend. I couldn't feel any better.
What are you doing?
You know, some good stuff. We got some friends flying into town.
Are you hosting?
You can't give me, we got some plans this weekend and not elaborate. What are you doing?
Well, they got this guy's a big gambler. So, of course, he's going to have the Hard Rock Bet app on his phone. And
nice.
In fact, that he's such a big gambler, they got a room set up for him at Hard Rock in Hollywood. So we're going to head down there this weekend, hit the tables.
You playing cards?
Well, I guess I'll play blackjack. Yeah, I'll play craps. I won't play poker or anything like that. But when you go to one casino often in Atlantic City, like the Hard Rock there, and you go there often enough, they hook you up with a room if you want one, comp it for you at their other locations.
Wow, so he's a professional.
Uh-huh. Well,
Okay.
I mean, like he just is there habitually. Yeah,
I see.
And he gets a room. He gets to stay there. You mean?
Yeah.
You're not going?
I'm gonna go there. Yes.
Are you staying there as well?
Yeah, I got one of those suites. So.
It's a suite. Oh, it's not. I thought it was just like a little hotel room. Okay, interesting.
Kyle, you want to play a little backgammon this weekend? A little blackjack?
No, beds are all occupied, uninvited. None of you.
Got it.
Wow, interesting. So this guy is such a gambler, invests so much money in Hard Rock that they hooked him up with a suite on the house.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
High roller.
We're a ways away from there. Wow, interesting. That's
Big
a
time.
lot of money. What does he do? So does he sports get bet, or does he play on the tables?
A little bit of both. He just likes it all, you know?
All right, interesting. And he's coming into town, just him?
Him and his girlfriend, who I also know from high school.
All right, so you got a little bit of like a couples weekend going on.
Exactly.
Okay,
Right.
so yeah, we are.
Are you setting a hard cap on the amount of money you're going to invest into Hard Rock this weekend?
Yeah, you hit the ATM before they go there, and then once you run out, if you run out, then that's that.
You're all done.
Then you get a good meal in and enjoy the night a different way.
Nice.
All right. And only one night, right?
Yeah, just one night for me.
Got it. Interesting. Interesting weekend ahead for Christian Cat coming down to Hard Rock down there. Is it it's in Fort Lauderdale or Hollywood?
Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, kind of the same distance south, but it's called Hard Rock Hollywood.
Colin, remember the day? It was one of
I've
our.
seen it. Yeah, I just didn't know where it was.
So one of our first days on the job, Colin and I were supposed to go to Dolphins practice, and they canceled it. And we were in the car with our fellow MC, Jeff Greenwald, and we passed the big guitar.
Oh, yeah, it's really cool because we're going to do that, and there's also a country honky-tonk bar down there that we're going to hit as well. So we got a full weekend planned for us.
Good for you. Look at that. You'll enjoy that. You'll enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. You ever square dance?
No.
Or line dance? One or the other?
Line dance, yes. I love line dancing. Very good at it.
Really?
Never.
Yeah, you didn't know this?
You
didn't know this?
No, I guess in the Midwest you kind of have your pockets up there in Wisconsin when you were there, but is that where that's from or Connecticut?
Every Tuesday at Red Rock Bar in Madison, Wisconsin, they have line dancing. I went every Tuesday for about 4 months straight.
What's a line dance, Cat? Explain it to me.
Think of the movie Footloose, and when they're in the barn and they're dancing,
gotta get loose.
Yeah,
Great
exactly.
movie.
Yeah, when they're doing the line dance.
The new one, they have a Footloose. They have a line dance scene in it. Not
that's what I was thinking. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
All right, yeah.
The old one is more like swing dancing.
Is it like country? Is it like country?
Yes.
Yeah, country songs, and everybody lines up like in this open space, equal distance from each other, and there's a coordination, there's a whole routine that you have to follow, and you dance to the song. And I'll tell you, there's a great spot in West Palm Beach, not far from my hotel where I live. And I was thinking about Hard Rock. And in West Palm. And this place is like a professional's paradise because there's levels to this. There really is. Like, I'm good. I'm intermediate. That's where I am. And there are people that are the expert advanced level. And I'm telling you, they have thousands of songs. It's a catalog in their brain how they knew they did these dances.
Do you guys remember the Tennessee fan who was dancing?
Yes,
Is that a line dance?
Like,
is that a line dance?
No, that's more of a jig, I would say. He's got more of a specialty.
I'll tell you what, that's a talent. I do not like country music, so I will not be line dancing. But I know for one thing, I would struggle mightily. I do not.
There's some that are simple, and there's some that are really, really complicated and tricky. It depends on the song.
And oftentimes, these places offer lessons before they actually have the line dancing take place. So you learn the dance, then you execute the dance when the lights dim a little bit and the band gets louder.
Are you country, Christian? You like country music?
I used to, and then I worked in it for 2 years, and now I can't.
You can't.
I just don't like it anymore. It's tough. I don't listen to it anymore.
But you will line dance, and that is country music.
It's a different night out.
Fair enough.
I will never listen to it on my own accord in my car like I used to growing up.
Got in a car with a coworker, and she's like, "Do you want me to play music?" I just said one rule: no country. You can play anything you want, just no country.
What is with you in country?
It doesn't. I had a bad experience at one of those Billy joints.
Well, this is a traumatic experience you're talking about?
Kind of.
You had a traumatic experience at a country bar? And
no, not a country bar, a Billy joint, meaning one of those concerts. That's what we call the country concerts, a Billy joint.
Okay. So you had a bad experience at a country concert, and therefore you
very bad experience.
You can't even listen to it without being reminded that it's bad
that
experience.
and like dude, anyone could be a country singer. Like anyone can sing. Anyone can sing about how drunk they are in their car in a dirt road and spit and chew. And I don't.
You can say that about everything.
But I will say this. I will say actually. I guess I am a fraud, according to Colin. Rascal Flatts is pretty good. I could do a little. Life is a highway.
I think it's fair to say
That's
you like
good.
Rascal Flatts, but not country music. I don't think you're stepping on toes when you put it that way.
Okay,
They're
Rascal
pretty
Flatts is legit. And I guess I could do a little Kenny Chesney because my Aunt Lori at her pool when we were growing up, 2005, she thinks my tractor's sexy. Like Kenny Chesney he could rock it. That guy could rock
That's
it.
good boat beach music.
Sure.
Ambiance.
That guy could rock it. But like the Tim McGraws and the Made in America. Like, dude, I'm good on all that.
But you like listening to the mumble rap?
Sure. I guess you could call it mumble rap. But yes, I do like my rap music.
I'm not listen, I like country music. I like all types of music. But, I mean, the country music for me, I haven't been to a concert live, and I'd like to. I've been to, like, live bands and stuff like that.
You've never been to a full-on Billy joint.
Not a concert, no. I've been to a number, a large number of actual like country bars. With cover bands. That's great.
I see.
I saw Zach Bryan on a pop-up thing at a local Madison, Wisconsin bar once too. Does he count as country music?
Is he Billy?
Yeah.
Is he Billy?
Yeah. No one uses that term except for you. I've never heard this before.
Can you stop saying that? Yeah, can you stop saying that?
Why?
Yes, he is. He is considered a country music artist. I grew up in New York, where we would go where Woodstock was, Bethel Woods.
Nice.
Absolutely.
And like 3 nights a year.
That's cool.
You'd buy the country mega ticket, where like 3 big country artists would show up, and that's the big party, man. Yeah. They know how to tailgate. They know how to pregame. That's a fun time.
Christian, Blossom Music Festival, they called it the mega ticket, and that's where I had the bad experience. So.
Well, the thing about that's cool. Woodstock area, what is that, 1962 that happened?
I was about to, that's history. Like, I would maybe go to
a parking lot in a lawn, you listen to music at night, but you're probably too intoxicated to really appreciate it. But it was a good time.
Colin, would you go to a Billy joint with me at Woodstock? I'd go if it was Woodstock.
I would go to a country concert tomorrow. I like the country music. I just think they're too expensive.
Okay.
People in the Midwest, I went to school in the Midwest. Oh, my God, people live and breathe it.
Kyle, something that bothers me is that, and it's not him specifically. Fair play to him. He's a millionaire, and he's killing it in life. But, the Luke Bryan obsession is a little much. The Luke Bryan.
Just because you don't like him.
And then who's the other one? There's one more.
There's so many. Luke Combs.
No. Keep going.
Toby Keith is
the most famous one, maybe outside of Luke Bryan.
It's probably Luke Combs. He's very big right now. Chris Stapleton, Jelly Roll.
He got in trouble. No, Jelly Roll's fine.
Oh, Morgan Wallen.
There you go. I apologize. I apologize to Luke Bryan. I meant Morgan Wallen. It's a little much with the obsession there.
You would hate Nashville. You would hate Nashville. That is all that is.
That's with cowboy boots and hats? I mean, I told
that is all country live music.
I told Christian a cowboy hat and Billy boots. I'm Sicilian. I don't wear a cowboy hat and Billy boots.
Just because you're Sicilian.
Probably.
Just because you're
Hey,
Sicilian.
listen,
Have you been to Sicily?
Colin, I've never been out of the United States.
You never went to the motherland.
He's Sicilian now. He's never been.
Never been out of the United States. I do have my passport now, though. So
he has his passport. Not in Sicilian. No Sicily though.
They might revoke that if you don't visit Italy soon. You might lose your Italian pass.
He's 30. I think we're down. I think I'm ready. I'm there. I'm there.
Listen, my father is in town, and my rest in peace to my grandfather. You don't want to say that too loud, then I'm not Sicilian.
The Polish
Trust
Mike
me.
Rizzo. Yeah.
Well, they've been to Italy, Mike. They've been to Italy.
I am half.
Mike, they've been to Italy.
My mother is Ukrainian, so I am half Ukrainian. I'm half Sicilian and half Ukrainian.
Not anymore.
Right down
You're
the middle.
full
Ukrainian, full Eastern Bloc. Lost my Italian blood. And instead of Rizzo, try to think of a Ukrainian last name.
Your mother's maiden name is right there.
My mother. Hang on. Their name got changed. The name got changed to Wilder when they came to the United States.
So many Ukrainian names come to mind. I can't even.
Shame on me. I don't remember what it was. My mother's told me 100 times. I do not remember what the name was.
So, but your family has been to Italy, yet you have not.
So my father, my grandmother, my aunties, my uncles have, but my brother and I have not been to Italy. My brother went to.
We're close. Christian. We're close to revoking this card.
Why?
You've never had.
So you're gonna stick a needle into my arm and just grab all the Sicilian blood out of my body.
Exactly what. No,
is that what you're doing?
Saying, you can't be screaming Siciliano every 5 seconds if you've never been.
Why?
That's the problem.
Why?
Yeah, that's claiming it too hard.
Plenty of Sicilians who've never been to Sicily,
and they're not Sicilians.
Dude, what are you talking about? Is that like a rite of passage? It's new to me.
It's a rite of passage if you're gonna claim it and wave the flag as hard as you wave it.
Yeah, I agree with Christian. Christian's 100%.
If you were understudy about it, if you kind of let it fly under the radar and only answered when asked about it, but you bring it up too much.
You base your opinions on it. You base your opinions on it.
I do. That was raised by Sicilians.
Hold on. But you never been to Sicily. You never been to Italy.
What?
Hey, Mike.
Why is that a big deal?
So what?
There are plenty of Italian people who have never been to Italy.
I'll go to Mike. Mike, should I wear the white shirt?
You are basing your opinions on
this
Italian heritage. Yet
correct, with the shaving of the beards, and yes, you don't have beards, man. I don't know what to tell you.
We haven't seen this Italian heritage in person yet.
Yes, Colin, I'll go to Mike. Mike,
my whole thing, dude.
Mike, should I wear my white shirt today or my black shirt? Well, I'm a Siciliano, so the white shirt has got to go today.
All right, that's the type of thing that Mike says. So I'm like, Mike, you've never been to Sicily, yet we're calling Siciliano every 5 seconds.
Colin, you are a Siciliano as well. And have you been to Sicily?
I lived in Italy. I'm Italian. I don't know if I'm Siciliano.
You're Italian. Okay,
I'm Italian, and I lived in Italy. So, yes, that's fair game. I'm good. And I don't wave it.
Guys, I don't have it. Believe it or not, I don't have, $7,000 to just get up and go to Italy either. It's an expensive trip.
Mike, you are
now
more.
It's a money thing.
It
now
is.
It's a money
I'm
thing.
30 years old. I can't afford to go to Italy. What are you talking about?
You are more Peorian than you are Italian.
That is.
Christian just went to Italy. Christian just went to Italy like 6 months ago.
Do me a favor and leave Peoria out of this. I love Peoria. Leave Peoria out of this.
Not a knock. That's just an observation.
Leave my Peorians out of this. Where's Mikey? Leave him out of this.
Christian just went to Italy.
Yeah.
He just went to Italy.
Yeah, free. He went on a free.
It wasn't a free.
Yes, it was. He won a trip.
Did you win it?
Yes.
No, that is completely inaccurate.
Right.
I spent $5,000.
He pays for it, and then they
he
tell
went
him
on a
where he's
free.
going.
It doesn't count.
Right. So Christian
I tell you what, the
here.
people in Italy, nothing like Mike. That's what I can tell.
They don't wave Siciliano when they're deciding what to wear in the morning.
Well, yeah, I think there's a big difference.
Mike, if you have an experience with people in Italy that contradicts what I just said, please share.
They are. I mean, I'm assuming I'm the loudest person ever. I think we could all agree on this. Italians aren't like that loud in the homeland. I feel like. I think that's an American thing, right?
You think? You think?
I know. God forbid the guy. God forbid the guy. Hang on here.
You should look up the YouTube videos with the guy with the GoPro walking through the streets of Sicily, and then you'll be Sicilian.
God forbid the guy who was just there, who's waving his flag that he's been to Italy, tells me. Okay.
Colin brought it up. I didn't.
Hold on, I'm not. I never waved this flag. I'm just telling you because it brought up in conversation. I'm just saying the Siciliano card gets a little old when we haven't been to Sicily. I mean, let's call it.
I think that's such a dumb take, but fair point to you.
How?
Fair point to you,
Mike. We haven't been,
dude.
You don't even know. You don't even know what it is. You know the Cleveland Siciliano. Is there a Sicily of Cleveland?
Stop
You've been there. We'll give you that.
Stop it. The Italian Heritage Society of Cleveland is fantastic. My grandfather.
Anthony's Pizzeria. That's all.
My grandfather and father won the Man of the Year for Italian Heritage at Cleveland 2 different times. Don't tell me I'm not Italian.
That's
okay?
great. That's their award. That is their award.
Spectacular American
and
Italian.
My dad did not go to Italy/Sicily until last year. You do me a favor. Tell my old man, since for 58 years, 60 years, he didn't go to Sicily, that he wasn't Sicilian. Have fun with that.
But hold on.
Have fun.
He's went.
Yeah, but
fair game.
He went when he was 62. I'm 30. So for 62 years, my dad wasn't Sicilian?
Mike, Christian's got more of an Italian card than you do.
But let me get something straight. For 62 years, when my father didn't go to the homeland,
Mike,
he wasn't considered Sicilian.
We're talking about you. We're not talking about your father. We're talking about you.
We didn't get bashed over the head with your dad saying he's Siciliano. We don't. We get bashed over the head with you doing it.
We talked to your lovely father, and your dad is, hey, Tony, should we do this? Should we do that? And the whole thing, Mike, can you turn off the lights? I'm Siciliano. I don't know about turning off the lights.
It's just so ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous on so many levels.
Mike, you got to fill up the gas. We don't do that in Siciliano country. I wasn't raised that way.
Schnooky and Mike's situation, much more Italian than Mike Rizzo. Like by
Christian's got more of an Italy card. Christian, you might want to turn into a Siciliano yourself. How's that? You're close.
Gym tan laundry, right? That's what we got to do.
You're close, Christian. You're close. Mike Rizzo's Siciliano card has officially been revoked by the higher powers over here at ESPN 106.3.
Might as well be French.
We could let's establish one. What is Mike now, huh? Is he French? Is you from Spain? You're Cleveland. That's where you are.
That's true.
Cleveland.
Yes.
You're Cleveland. You're Peorian. I like that.
Okay.
Peorian and Cleveland.
Fair enough.
Peorian,
Fine.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. We got to do some 5 and 5 on the flip side of things. Stick around for it. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? If the answer is no, EDS is yes. Theo here, and for me, EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing is my go-to, and it should be yours too. EDS is Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. They'll make sure your air and water flow perfectly. EDS is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. Go to edsisyes.com. That's edsisyes.com. When comfort matters, EDS is yes.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
South Florida's one and only PGA Tour event returns to the Champion Course at PGA National, February 26th through March 2nd. The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches will deliver a best-in-class on-site experience featuring a variety of fan amenities alongside the premier competition. Kids 15 and under are admitted free with a ticketed adult. This can't-miss event is right around the corner. Buy your tickets now at thecognizantclassic.com.
This is ESPN 106.3's Mike Rizzo. Recently, I had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Michael Stark, a spine surgeon in the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group. When it comes to spine injuries, Dr. Stark says there can be a misconception.
It's broad. Everyone thinks back would just be pain, but that's not always the case. In the spine is all your nerves, your spinal cord and your nerves that come out into the lumbar spine. Problems that you can see with those aren't just pain necessarily. Those are the more obvious, but you can see numbness. Patients can come in without pain, but they may have weakness in their leg or in their arm. And that may be from a pinched nerve that's higher up in the spine somewhere. So those are usually more alarm type symptoms where I would say you need to get evaluated. But it could also be something simple like a muscle strain or pull where it would end up with back pain or tightness that could result in symptoms prompting care.
That's Dr. Michael Stark with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362 or go online to pbhnphysiciangroup.com.
Hey golf fans, Colin Russo here. Looking to improve your game? Flagstick Golf Performance, the ultimate indoor golf experience, is now open in Boynton Beach. With 3 indoor simulators and a state-of-the-art putting studio, Flagstick helps players at all levels up their game. Get lessons from experts, try the latest clubs, or just come up for a round on the simulators. You can track your stats and see real improvement. Flagstick is where serious golfers and beginners find their edge. Bring your friends or family and enjoy golf like never before. Visit flagstickgolfperformance.com to book your session.
Get ready to elevate your driving experience with the all-new 2025 Range Rover Velar P250 Dynamic SE. A stunning blend of luxury, performance, and technology that will make every drive unforgettable. Right now, you can lease the new Velar for just $759 per month for 36 months. Yes, only $759 a month for a luxury SUV that sets new standards on the road. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
Hey, Shot, I know you be hearing this and that from here and there, but please trust and believe, little mama. I see you gon' ride for me, so I'ma die for you. Is you with me? I got your back. But let's get it.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Rizzo's Italian court is officially revoked on ESPN 106.3. 888-760-3776. If you disagree with this notion, please let us know. But I am officially banning Rizzo from claiming heritage to the great country of Italy and Sicily. Go ahead.
My brother's banned because he's never been either.
Correct.
My cousin is banned because Blake has been. So
All right,
all my family members who have not been to the homeland are banned.
You nailed it.
Wow.
You got it.
So my dad for 63 years was not an Italian. Fair play to him, mate.
He's got the card in his wallet right now. He's good.
Fair play to him.
He's good. USA Canada went toe-to-toe yesterday in the Four Nations Championship on ESPN. An excellent barn burner, a 3-2 final. Canada with McDavid scoring a golden goal in overtime. That's over with, but now we're back. The NHL is going to be kicking off here in I think there's games tomorrow, believe it or not, on Saturday. And the NBA's back in full swing. You get baseball spring training there. You got MMA coming up. You got the golf events coming up. There's Cognizant Classics coming up next weekend over there of the Palm Beaches at the PGA National. We'll be there on site. No better time to get started than download the Hard Rock Bet app today. Go download it at the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store. Go to hardrock.bet online today to get started. Hard Rock is excellent because if you're looking to put together a parlay, that's really what plays into the glove of what Hard Rock does. The Discover page is so useful, so easy to get acclimated within because you could tag and tail other people's parlays that other users put together, just a few short taps. Or if you want to get really sophisticated and really complicated in your own parlays, bet as little as $1. Go get insane odds on your parlays and just do it. It's that easy. It's so much fun. You're going to be watching these games anyway. You might as well sprinkle a little action on it with our friends over at Hard Rock Bet. Go download today. Get up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not hit. That first bet can be a parlay, can be a prop, can be an over. Whatever you like to bet in a game you choose, win that first bet to get the same amount you bet back as a bonus bet. Hard Rock Bet offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. The wager terms, conditions apply. Concerned by gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat behind the glass at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Christian, it's time for us to do a load of 5 and 5.
Number 1.
Stephen A. Smith of First Take agrees about the NBA adopting USA versus the World All-Star Game, but he had a pretty interesting take on the dunk contest. Take a listen.
See the level of patriotism and the level of participation the players give you because they feel compelled from the citizens. And that in itself would have had them coming for Team USA, and then naturally Team USA is going to show up and respond because they don't want to get punked. So as a result, that's why it would be a better matchup. And I've mentioned it to Adam Silver before, but nevertheless, I'll mention it again. There's two things that I'm going to continue to mention until the cows come home. International versus USA, All-Star Weekend, and damn it, let me get a bunch of sponsors for a nationwide slam dunk contest to get some real elite slam dunkers out there who care about it so we can have a slam dunk contest back in action.
Question for you guys. Do you agree with what Stephen A. Smith proposes?
So I'm curious on what that means. The dunk contest, nationwide dunk contest, does he mean that he's going to have different regional tournaments up until nationals?
That's what I'm assuming. And I've played, Colin, that celebrity game I've told you that I've played in. I played with a bunch of Ball is Life guys. Dude, I'm going to shout out my guy on Instagram, Ty Glover. If you're not familiar with the name, that dude would beat any NBA guy in a dunk contest. He lives and breathes dunking. These guys play basketball professionally in these leagues, and they do these. I'm telling you, Stephen A's onto something here. He is definitely onto something with this dunk contest. I would love to see it because if you get the best dunkers, let's say they do a Midwest bracket, they do an East Coast bracket, they do a South bracket, and they do a Western bracket, Colin, it'd be a lot of fun. I'm telling you, people would be bought into this because these guys could fly.
Well, I guess you got to ask yourself what you really look for in terms of the dunk contest. Do you want to watch the best players in the NBA dunking? Do you want to watch NBA players in general dunking? Or do you want to watch no-name people that are elite dunkers, specialist dunkers, that are great athletes but not professional basketball players do dunking then?
Well,
so
the pros, Colin, sorry to cut. The pros had their chance the last 12 years now?
Right, but isn't that kind of the allure you want to see the professional I understand.
Yeah.
The problem with the dunk contest is you're right. There are better dunkers outside of the NBA than there are in the NBA because there's specialists that have social media followings by doing it. But does that mean that the regular fan will get super interested in that?
How many times are we going to dunk over a Kia? I'm over that. I mean, how many times are we going to dunk over a car?
Well, I think of the Pro 4 sports, baseball is up there in terms of All-Star Weekend intrigue. That would be like if you took the best home run hitters, which does not mean the best Major League Baseball home run hitters, because if you only focus on hitting a ball, 375 feet over the fence, that does not mean you're good enough to play Major League Baseball. If you took someone who only did that and lit it up, would that be entertaining?
Well, I mean, that's also a hypothetical. I also think the best baseball players in the world are the best home run hitters, but go ahead.
But the MLB players haven't ruined the home run derby. It's the best part about All-Star Weekend.
Well,
Will we
some
agree
of the
on
best
this?
don't play. Like, some don't want to ruin their swing.
Yeah, they screw up their swing.
Okay.
So I guess, but to the Christian's point, if you had a bunch of guys who just specialized in hitting the ball 500 feet, would people get into it? Or do they want to watch the guys that they're fans of in the NBA or in the MLB, for that matter, perform in an all-star environment? I think that it's which side do you really care about? Do you want to watch the incredible dunks that are different and new and fun? Or do you want to watch your favorite athletes do this?
I hear you. But the favorite athletes in the NBA aren't doing this anymore.
I think I'm with you, Mike. Like, seriously, like, it would be the best of the situation if you had LeBron
it's better
James.
than what they have.
And I know you guys may disagree with me on this. You guys know I love LeBron. LeBron not doing the dunk contest, in my opinion, ruined the dunk contest because no big player wants to do it anymore. I mean, Kobe won a dunk contest. Michael won a dunk contest. Dr. J, we talked about this with Evan, what was it, 2 days ago, Christian, or yesterday? I apologize. But I really do feel like LeBron not deciding to do the dunk contest is where that thing ended. So they don't want to do it anyway. You might as well give a guy a chance who's playing in one of these basketball circuits around the country to prove, hey, we're a thing too. We're professional dunkers as well, and we're going to give you a hell of a show.
I mean, to be fair, that's what they just did with Mac McClung. Like, he shouldn't be on a roster. Like, he shouldn't be on our TV nationwide.
You're talking about two-time G League MVP.
I personally think the Mac McClung thing
it's the NBA All-Star game.
And you guys could disagree with me on this as well. I think the whole Mac McClung thing is embarrassing because none of the stars want to do it.
And Stefan Castle, having that name attached to a dunk does not make it better than if it was someone I've never heard of before that night. It does not impact the dunk whatsoever. So, Mike, I'm with you.
Steph Castle's not fair. That guy's the Rookie of the Year favorite. Come on. All right.
Still, it didn't make the dunk better. The fact that his name was attached to it, would make it if it was a bigger name.
Is that legit? What you just said, partner?
I believe he's the favorite, yeah. I'd have to
I'm not
check.
saying he's having a bad year by any means, but Minky, are we down on rookies this year or what? My God.
Steph Castle, hold on a second. Steph Castle's a good player.
Does he start?
Yes.
Okay. He didn't start to begin the year. He was on my fantasy team.
All right. That was Mike. That was 4 months ago.
I understand this, but
what are you drawing conclusions from how October 18th?
Parter, he can't be averaging more than 15 points a game. That's my point here.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, we're down on a rookie class.
He's an elite defender.
Who went one? I don't even. Who the hell went number one? Help me out. Who went number one overall?
Risacher.
Who?
Zachary Risacher, he was on the Wizards, and then Alex Sarr went second.
Oh, my God. Yeah, our rookies stink this year. God, that league's in trouble. Can we do number two?
Number two.
God.
Aaron Schatz, NFL analyst for ESPN, wrote today that he believes Super Bowl winning quarterback and future Hall of Famer Matt Stafford will be traded to the Steelers. Second day in a row, the Steelers have made the 5-5. What do you think the Rams should do with Stafford?
There would be a bigger asking price to get Stafford in the mix. They'd have to give up a first-round pick at least, comparatively to what we talked about yesterday with Rodgers. Probably a higher upside. Stafford is a proven winner. Stafford probably has a little bit more good football left in him, but you're giving up more. Is that worth it in the Steelers' eyes? In my opinion, if you're trying to, squeeze the last ounce of good football out of this roster and what they have together on that defense, then I would probably go to the highest ceiling. And Matthew Stafford offers that, but you have to give up a big asking price. And I think the Giants might be able to offer a bigger package or a better package.
The Rams don't have an option at quarterback. They need to hang on to Stafford until they. Now, if that involves trading Stafford first, Colin, and then figuring out, fair play to him. But as of right now, they need to hang on to Matt Stafford because, Carson Beck is the backup right now? You really have no other option than Matt Stafford at the moment.
Carson Beck, he's not even in the NFL yet, but yes, Stetson Bennett.
Sorry, thank you. Get my Georgia quarterbacks mixed up. Appreciate it. But at the same time, you got to stick with Stafford because it's better than anything you have unless you plan on going and getting Sam Darnold.
That might be what they're trying to do.
And the Steelers, best guess who plays quarterback for them next year? I'm saying Rodgers. I think it's the thing that makes the most sense. To your point, they don't have to give up very much for him. He's going to be a free agent here in a couple of months. Rodgers.
It's Russell Wilson.
You think it's Wilson? You think they stay with him?
To start week 1, yeah.
I'll tell you what. I know a lot of Steeler fans are going to erupt. They're going to erupt if Russell Wilson is back.
Was he that much of a problem?
He's not.
Was he the black hole?
Kyle, any Steeler fan I talk to is, you got to figure.
What, the 3 of them? This is not the grand scheme of the Steeler fans here. I mean,
no good 10 of them.
Terrible.
Colin, no a good 10 of them.
All right. And you survey all of them on Russell Wilson?
I think they'd be very upset. I mean, even Mike Tana, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out the Steelers need better quarterback play in order to be better.
But I mean,
Russell Wilson isn't moving the needle.
I agree. That's fine. But he was not the black hole of that team. He was not the biggest problem with that team.
That offense stunk.
Yeah, and it wasn't because of him. He was a brighter spot than a lot of other spots on that offense.
I guess, man.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Well, the Suns lost to the Wembley Spurs last night and continue to skid even with a star-studded roster. If this stretch continues for the Suns, where could you see Kevin Durant playing next year, if not in Phoenix?
They're going to trade him. So if they do trade him, I don't know where they would look, who could put together a package for him. He doesn't want to go to Golden State. He's made that abundantly clear. Kevin Durant has turned into a bit of a hired gun here, where he jumps around place to place and good offensively, doesn't necessarily make you win games. If I had to make a guess, I'd say he'd stay put in Phoenix. But if somebody were to make a move, if I had to think of one immediately, I mean, who even has...
Can I give you a team?
Go ahead.
The Mavericks. They're desperate. They need to win. They need to pair somebody up with Kyrie.
Who would they go? Hold on. If you don't pair him up with Kyrie and Anthony Davis, because you're not going to be able to put together a package that is Kevin Durant worthy.
I mean, if
without one of the two,
they have a high. At this, they were willing. From what we were hearing, they were willing to trade him for not a lot. Let's put it that way. Come this trade deadline, if Dallas has a high first-round pick. Maybe they throw that in there.
That is not a first-round pick is not worth Kevin Durant. Talk about 4 and then 3 players.
Throw a P.J. Washington in there. I mean, Colin, what were the Heat about to give up for Kevin Durant? It didn't seem like they were throwing the house. That's
Jimmy Butler?
Yeah. So Kyrie would have to be involved, no?
Probably. Oh, I know. I think, Colin, I say Dallas because they're desperate and they probably need a star to move the needle. That's my best guess.
I don't know if they could put together a package for him. Can they even afford him? That's 3 max players right there. And Thompson's not cheap either. Can they even afford him? I'd have to go through the financials of that. They're going to have to give up a contract to take on that contract.
Maybe 4. I just said maybe they do give up a Kyrie-esque contract. Number 4.
Number 4.
Team USA. Team USA. They lost to Canada last night in overtime in the Four Nations Face-Off Championship game. Connor McDavid, who scored the game winner, spoke to the media after the win.
You just beat these guys in America after they beat you at the Bell Center. What's the most gratifying part about this?
Just to see the reaction, just to know what it means to us. You know, I know it's just a quick tournament, and it's not an Olympic gold medal or anything like that, but it means the world to our group. As you can see, everybody battled so hard all week. So, it was special.
Why does it mean so much?
Because it's best on best. It's 4 great countries going at it. Obviously here in Boston, going against an amazing American team, and just finding a way. It wasn't necessarily the prettiest, but just found a way.
Question for you guys. What will you remember the most about the debut of the Four Nations Face-Off?
I think the implications of how to intrigue a fan in the dead point of the season is to invigorate love of country and to get the best players motivated to embrace and represent something bigger than themselves. If you're able to do that, if you're able to walk that fine line, then you're able to put together quite a product. And that's exactly what the NHL did.
Yeah, I hope that what I'm going to remember for is hopefully this being a start of something special. I hope they do this every year in the NHL. I hope the NBA adopts something similar. And I hope that instead of me sitting here and tell you guys to end the NBA All-Star game, that we could actually be talking about something pretty cool that happened next year.
I don't think you can manufacture caring about something with money. And I think that some ideas for the NBA are just inputting a bunch of money, putting cash on the line. You can't do that to these guys.
To your point, the playing tournament, each player wins $500,000. They don't care.
No.
Who won the? By the way, boys, I think this is the second time I'm asking you this. Who won the play-in tournament?
Wait, the play-in tournament or the mid-season tournament?
Who won the mid-season tournament? I'm all over the place today.
The Bucks.
Okay.
You asked us this on Tuesday.
Hey, listen. I just wanted to make sure it was still fresh in the minds of everybody.
Christian,
I know you didn't know.
This.
Christian, I know you didn't know. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
No, I didn't know.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
But I also didn't know who won the play-in tournament, which was the first question. I was very confused.
There are two teams that come out of the play-in tournament.
Yeah. What I'm saying is,
I told you between me saying Carson Beck was the backup of the Rams and now this, I'm on a roll today.
But even if it wasn't countries and nationality and patriotism and pride in one's country, if you just can find a way to make the players care, the fans will care. And isn't that the most obvious thing ever? It's the biggest complaint.
It's reciprocated.
Yeah, it is.
That is all reciprocated. I completely agree with you. You have to reciprocate people interest. You have to make them seem relatable in that they are energized and motivated to do something. That is what the everyday person is. And the everyday person doesn't want to watch a bunch of people coast. They want to they want to see people go for it.
To Colin's point, you don't have to start watching the NBA till April 10th when the playoffs begin. And I could even sit here and tell you the product in the playoffs hasn't even been that good. It's supposed to be the best time for the
playoffs are good. The playoffs are good.
First round could be better.
I don't know, man.
I disagree with that.
Last couple of years, I've been wanting more out of the NBA playoffs, but I understand.
Playoffs are good. I like the playoffs. I'm a fan of that. But the regular season, 100% right. Number 5, or are we done here?
Number 5.
Hal Steinbrenner, the Yankees lifted the 49-year beard ban that the Yankees had in place. Take a listen.
I did make the decision that the policy that was in place was outdated, and given how important it is to that generation, and given that it is the norm in this world today, that it was somewhat unreasonable. So I made the change, talked to the players this morning at the team meeting. I think they understand what my thought process was as well. There will be parameters to this, and they know that, just as we have parameters to our other policies and guidelines.
Now, if you want to hear what we think on the beard ban getting lifted for the New York Yankees, you can go listen back on the podcast, Russo and Rizzo, or on YouTube at ESPN West Palm. But I want to ask you guys, what would be the funniest Yankee to see in a beard while wearing pinstripes?
Who would be funny with it?
Because I saw a cursed image of a photoshopped Derek Jeter in full uniform in a beard,
that would look weird.
And it was disgusting.
That would look
That's the first
weird.
time I thought, wait a second, Mike Rizzo's got a point.
Rivera, Mariano with a lumberjack's beard.
Looking like Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to go with the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio. I cannot imagine Joe DiMaggio with a beard.
I mean, yeah, I would. Yeah.
How about A-Rod?
You don't like that one? What's wrong with mine?
Hold on. What's
wrong with mine?
You haven't seen Joe in person.
What do you mean? I saw plenty of Joe DiMaggio games on YouTube. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
I can't imagine Joe DiMaggio with a beard.
I wish Johnny Damon was able to live in this era. Because I thought Johnny Damon, even though I hated him while he was a Boston Red Sox, he lost a little bit by having to shave the beard, cut the hair, and there was a little bit of Damon left in Boston when he came to become a Yankee.
I guess.
A former Oakland A, too.
So, hang on. Can I ask something real quick, Carl? If
ahead.
Joe DiMaggio never went to Italy, is he not Italian either?
No.
If he never went to Italy,
If
Joe
Joe
DiMaggio
DiMaggio
is
told
Italian?
me every 5 seconds that he's Siciliano and he bases his life decisions on that, then yeah, I would have a problem with Joey D saying the same thing.
The Yankee Clipper?
I think that's fair. That's
Okay.
a fair.
All
Christian's on the same boat as me.
Mike, again, it's not just because you haven't been to Italy.
It's
because
how you flaunt it.
Yes, it's because you bring up that you're Siciliano every 5 seconds, but haven't been to Italy. That's why you're getting guffed for this.
They have a word for this. Phony. Phony. We'll close out the program. Give our picks of the night next, presented by Hard Rock Bet. Stick around for it. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
DQ Grill and Chill, always your first love for delicious treats. Enjoy the blizzard of the month, Red Velvet Cake Blizzard. Indulge in real red velvet cake pieces and cream cheese icing, blended with DQ Signature Soft Serve. Plus, the $7 meal deal remains in full effect. Your choice of a DQ cheeseburger or a 3-piece chicken strip basket served with fries, a drink, and a sundae for just $7. DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road, and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Spring training has arrived at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Come to America's busiest ballpark to see the Miami Marlins and St. Louis Cardinals take the field before the season begins. Bring your groups, celebrate your birthdays or anniversaries, experience our VIP batting practice, and get up close on field with the pros. Visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com or stop by the ticket office today to purchase your spring training experience. See you at the ballpark.
ESPN 1063 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet. Home of the Miami Heat, now the new home of Inter Miami. Catch all the games and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 1063. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling, call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
Closing out the program here on a Friday edition of Russo and Rizzo, the 21st of February 2025. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, as always. If you missed any of the show today, want to listen back to Russo and Rizzo on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can see it all there or see our pretty faces live streaming at ESPN West Palm on YouTube, Twitter/X, and Facebook. It's time for Mike and I to go directly head-to-head against each other. It's time for us, presented by Hard Rock Bet, of course, to make our picks of the weekend. Let's get right to it.
It's no longer Russo and Rizzo.
I'm going to trust the team that's undefeated on the road this year.
It's a meaningless game.
That's my 2 cents, Colin.
It's Russo versus Rizzo.
Let's talk this out. Why put yourself behind the 8 ball? What, for pride?
Reputations are on the line. Egos will clash. Feelings will get hurt.
Now I'm going to be very pissed off.
Who's a sharp and who's a square?
What did I miss? What in the hell did I miss?
Time for Picks of the Night.
Russo versus Rizzo.
Presented by Hard Rock Bet.
All right, Mike, you are 5-1. Colin, you are 4-2. Some sharps here on Russo and Rizzo.
I gotta stay away from the soccer.
Mike is 5-1.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm 4-2. Interesting. All right, Mike, your pick of the weekend. What do you got for me?
I am going to go with Michigan -3.5 tonight at home versus Michigan State. Michigan coming off a couple of big wins recently enough. The Ohio State game where they managed to come back and beat the Buckeyes in Columbus. They are on a 6-game win streak. Ohio State, Purdue, Indiana, Oregon, Rutgers, and Penn State. I think that continues tonight at home against Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans. Give me the Wolverines -3.5.
Well, they are a basketball school, right? So, yeah.
Sadly not. Not anymore. Not anymore.
I like a 2-point spread here. I like a 2-point swing. I'm taking Michigan State getting the points. Michigan State. One thing about Michigan is they got the great bigs, but they turn the ball over at an egregious amount, and their guards are capable of getting frazzled. That's exactly what Michigan State thrives on. They have a bunch of 6'7" pesky wing defenders. Not a lot of size, but pesky wing defenders. I know it's in Michigan's building, but I like Michigan State here coming off a win against Purdue on Tuesday. I think this is a good one. I like them getting 3.5. At least keep the game close. They don't need them to win, they need them to cover. That's what I'm taking Michigan State. So that's a 2-point swing that we have an opportunity for here today on Friday.
We weren't sure if you knew. We weren't sure if you were listening that I picked Michigan.
Yeah. You're going head-to-head. Right now.
I knew. That's why I said a 2-point swing.
Officially on Hard Rock Bet, I've got 3. The
It's
number
3?
is 3.
Okay.
Fine with me. 3.
3 it is.
I like that. So I knew that. It's a 2-point swing. If I get a loss, I get a win, or vice versa.
And for some reason, the way you started that sounded like it was a new game. And
Right.
Very confused.
We looked at each other like, wait a minute here. Did he listen to me?
I said a 2-point. That was the first thing I said. 2-point swing.
Okay. We heard it wrong.
Okay. Yes, we heard that as like a 2-point favorite. Or
we heard like a 2-point spread.
So we thought you got both the spread wrong and the fact that was Mike's pick. Okay. We're good now.
No. We're good. Michigan State. That's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Fox in Michigan's building. A bit of a rivalry game in that regard. Michigan State 14th ranked. Michigan 12 ranked. So Mike and I are going head-to-head on that one. That was our picks of the night presented by Hard Rock Bet. Go download that today in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. You get $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not hit. Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. The wager terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling, call 1-888-ADMIT.
Well, how about this? Maybe some good juju for Mike Rizzo's pick, because Dusty May, head coach of the Wolverines, just inked his new extension, former FAU coach.
Wow.
So he's walking in there confident as all hell.
That's smart that Michigan State would do that. I mean, Michigan would do that because I'm sure Indiana would come calling. And that's a big job. So I'm sure they just gave him a little bit of a raise to keep him away from the Wolves over at Indiana. That looks like Chris Beard's job through and through. This was a Friday edition of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, the 21st of February. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back at it on Monday, 4 to 6 p.m. back, I believe, at the TGL. So that should be a good time. You can listen to Mike on Saturday Takeout, me on Sunday Huddle. Sending you off, ESPN 106.3.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter